This is the Seahawkers podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Schultz, and I am joined by my good buddy, Adam Emmert. As Adam, our Seahawks have defeated the stupid Rams in overtime, 38-37. We are riding a roller coaster of Sam Ocean tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Yes, that's how I'm doing tonight, Brandon. Thank God. Screw you, Rams. I am so fired up for this. I love what happened tonight. This was such a wild roller coaster, as you pointed out. And, I can't wait to eat all the crow tonight. It tastes so good. I got a bunch of White Claws ready to go to wash it down. This is awesome. I'm so freaking happy, dude. So freaking happy.
This game, when they showed the graphic, this tells you what kind of improbable, unlikely game this is, because as they put the graphic up on the screen and showed the Seahawks how they've fared being down 15 points or more in the fourth quarter, and they had won 0 times, and I looked at my wife and I said, well, we're due.
We're due. Hey, then good job by you in that moment. 3% chance to win after they go down by 16. And there's so many guys to talk up in this game that really came through in some of the biggest moments. And I kind of want to say Sam for a little later in the conversation. So let's start with Rashid Shaheed. That kick or the punt return, that changed the entire game. That changed the entire energy of the whole thing, and it started rolling for the Hawks. They get back in it and are able to gut it out in the end.
Another person we need to talk about is Gambling Goat's newborn, who came into the world and now knows the Seattle Seahawks is undefeated against the Los Angeles Rams.
And forever will be why he's here. He's the one. He's Neo. He brought all the Hawkra, man.
Shout out to Brandon Perna's curse wheel, because clearly that made the difference. Although I had my questions, Adam, as Ernest Jones' interception in overtime was overturned after it hit the ground, which I felt like it could have gone either way. But it was probably the right call.
It was the right call.
We can be magnanimous about it at this point and say it was the right call, especially when you talk about things that turn the tide of the game. How about clutch Zach Charbonnet picking up a ball that just happened to land in the end zone on a 2-point conversion that we all thought was just an incomplete pass? It turned out it was a backward-forward pass that bounced off the helmet of Kobe Turner and into the end zone. We pick it up, 2 points and tie game, and that's what helped lead us toward overtime.
Hey, to steal a line from the prime announcers, not Michael's, but the post-game group, that was the Zach Words pass. That's what it was. And when they came out with that one, I was a little jealous that I didn't think of it myself. But yeah, you need to have things like that even go your way after having 3 turnovers and putting yourself in a hole and having the momentum go against you and all of that. That at that point, it felt like this is probably going to happen, even though late in the fourth quarter, there was chances for him to kind of get up, put it away, and couldn't get it done there and had to go to overtime. I'm gonna have a hard time speaking tonight. I'm so happy, dude. I'm so freaking happy, stunned, elated.
I can't wait to go watch the presser. Lauren Campbell saying Mike looks stunned and holding down the emotion. We've got Aaron F. coming in with a $10 super chat saying, let's catfish and go. Number 1 seed. Yes, number 1 seed. Here we come. And playoffs, here we come, because with this win, we have clinched a spot in the postseason, Adam.
Clinch a spot in the postseason and in the driver's seat for the number 1 seed, which we all know is huge when it comes to Super Bowl aspirations for the Seahawks. Haven't been to a Super Bowl unless you've been a 1 seed, so this is a great step forward. All Niners fans that are out there rejoicing right now thinking, oh, no, we have a chance. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't. You just saw the 2 best teams in football go head-to-head, and you're not one of them, period. And I was a little pissed off that Michaels decided that he needed to talk some 49ers, right when the game was kind of in the throes of not being a great one for us. And I don't want to hear about them right now. Get that conversation out of here.
Ryan 911, our live executive producer, with the $19.99 donation. And he wants to talk Darnold now. What style Darnold jersey will you be getting, Adam? Rivalry seems fitting.
Okay, so this was a bet I didn't make, but was thrust upon me in the Discord throughout the game, and I think the rivalry one is the one. I really do. It was one that I I'm kind of meh on, but now it's one of my favorites of all time. Like, I love that uni combo. And yeah, I guess I'm ordering a Darnold jersey. So,
I said, if you're not a part of the Discord, getintheflock.com. It was a wild, wild ride, a roller coaster of emotion. And I also said in the Discord ahead of the game that if we win, that Sam Darnold's my new favorite quarterback of the Seahawks all time. So,
whoa.
I mean,
easy.
I mean, I'm there now. I'm locked in. Here I am.
Here you are. Okay, well, that's fine. That's a step further than I want to go. Russell Wilson's still my favorite quarterback of all time for the Seahawks, but let's talk about Sam, because Richard Sherman stole the words that were written down on my pen and paper here when I wanted to start the show. If Sam Darnold was going to get the monkey off his back, and all I can picture is Steve Young after winning the Super Bowl, looking at his linebackers, get it off me, and they pulled the phantom monkey off of his back. That's what this was for Sam Darnold. It had to be this way. 2 back-breaking picks, and to come back and do it in the biggest moments, and not just a big game, but a huge game. That's a big freaking deal. And so all the credit in the world to Sam Darnold in his resolve. And I'm here to eat the crow on that. I didn't think this was a type of game he could ever win, and he came through in a big, big way.
And no, Ryan, we're not renaming it the Sam Hawkers podcast. Navajo egg rolls coming in with the 10 gifted Seahawkers podcast memberships. I also saw Zero Hawk coming in with 5 Seahawkers podcast memberships. Appreciate it, you guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you're here for the first time, welcome to the party.
Absolutely, because it is a party tonight because your Seahawks beat the fucking Rams and they can go home on their fucking plane and cry themselves a fucking sleep. Screw those guys. I'm so happy that they're walking out of here with an L. And just to kind of get back to Sam and what he was able to do late, the throw to JSN to get the drive started in overtime. And this is after the defense gives up a long touchdown to Puka where I tried to break things in my house. And then he comes down, he hits that big throw to JSN. And then, again, I have to eat a bunch of crow tonight. Cup is one of them I get to eat the crow on, too. That catch along the sidelines was A++. It was an A+ throw on top of that when you have to have it. Just massive, massive plays.
Trying to catch up on some of the super chats and post from the chat here. Chewy 938. We beat the catfishing Rams. Let's go Hawks. A big thanks for being a member for 26 months, Chewy. And let's see, which other one did I miss here? The Snail, a member for 39 months. Shout out to the Curse Wheel. Hit that like button. And Gambling Goat also came in with 5 Seahawkers podcast memberships. Appreciate that. Ryan Eddy, eat catfish Rams. Hawks back on type. Hype this vid. Nate Schutz with the score donation, 38-37. It feels like years since we've had a win like this. Josh DeHuman with a $4.99 super chat. My quarterback changed his narrative game-winning drive in overtime with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So happy for him. Tears of joy. Josh DeHuman, a big Sam Darnold fan, and we are all Sam Darnold fans after that comeback win. It was a very tough game because I think there was a moment right around that 3% win percentage chance where a lot of Seahawks fans, I even had my mom ask me, who's our backup quarterback?
I said put Drew in. I did. Yeah. Because it was looking that way in, for anybody who's like, well, you're not a real fan if you don't believe, 3% chance. We're playing with the what's more likely game, okay? And really, 97% no, this is a dumpster fire to 3%. They're going to come back and rewrite the entire narrative. Like, I know where I'd put my money. I lost, and that's totally fine. But it was in those moments, I was actually texting back and forth to the DCH, and it was just like, all right, well, what do we do next year? And, like, really looking forward to those sort of things. I'm thinking about watching Milroe highlights from college, like, this evening after it's done. And then the defense, after Shaheed took it back, and then the defense said,
Shaheed takes it back, then they get the 2-point conversion, and then it turns into a 1-score game at that point. And then the defense, I mean, they were like I think you were getting to, the defense kind of stacking up stops, and to where Stafford had moved the ball all day long. They were moving it on the ground at will. I mean, Puka had a ginormous day, 225 yards on 12 receptions. So couldn't stop him, couldn't stop the combination of Williams and Corum. And then all of a sudden, after that punt return, it was like the team flipped a switch and it was locked down. And yeah, the defense gave up the touchdown in overtime, but it just felt like a completely different game.
Yeah, it did. And look, one of the things that we get mad about when we talk about advanced stats, whether you go for it or you don't and all that stuff, right, is it doesn't take momentum into account. And it's a real freaking thing. You felt the entire tide start to turn after the Shaheed run back. Because one of the things I said to DCH over text was, I'm not even mad at the defense at this point, like late in the game when they were kind of getting run down.
I was mad early.
I wasn't mad early. We can get to first half stuff, but at that point, like, oh, now I lost my train of thought with what you said there because I've been drinking beers all night.
I'll read Carly's comment and you can get back to it. Carly with a $9.99 super chat. As annoying as not getting to watch the game live was, we beat the effing Rams. We did it. Now watching this glorious win on playback, and I still can't believe it. Finally, God Zero Hawk coming in with $10 for the catfishing Hawkra. Let's catfishing go. And we have Sam Gelber, another live executive producer. What a great win, because the Lambs are going to be whining. We should have won. We were the better team, which is the first step in a fall. But they're last minute news, and it's us and San Francisco. Thanks for the $12 super chat, Sam.
Hey, appreciate that a ton, Sam. But make no mistake, first and foremost, like, hats off to the Rams. That was an absolutely fantastic football game. That is, and I'd written that down too before it looked like we were going to win, right? Like, that was a fantastic football game. They played lights out. How many passing yards did Stafford go for? Like 5,032 in like one game?
457. He was 29 of 49, 3 touchdowns, and 457 yards. Nuts.
I mean, just unbelievable. He was dicing up zone all game. Had no problems with that. Job had his hands full with Puka, and he had his way. I've always kind of been one of those people with Puka where I'm like, but I like where he came from, and I like his story and like all that. After this game and his attitude, like that he was kind of thrown around the field and all that, screw that guy. I hate him as more than I did Cup when he was there at this point. No doubt about it.
Chris Brubaker with a 12 super chat. That was exactly the win Sam needed to go Super Sam for the rest of the season. Man, oh man. I hope that is the case for sure, Chris. Jeremy Green with a $1.99 super chat. Sam was lights out on that game-winning drive. Let's pause there for a second, because that is the type of drive that was even better than the game-winning drive that we got from the Colts game, because that was setting up for a field goal. This was driving the complete length of the field. He hit those dime throws on the sidelines. We didn't see any throws that just were into a defensive lineman's hand for no reason.
Scratchers, yeah.
He had a couple throwaways. I think did he even take a sack on the final drive that they bounced back from, or is that the one of the fourth quarter drives that I'm mixing?
No, that was the last drive. He ends up taking a sack there.
That's right.
They only had 49 seconds, no timeouts, and like I'm sitting here thinking, look, as long as we don't turn it over here, see if we can do it. But we'll probably end up going to overtime. That's a tall task. So even if we had lost that game, I wasn't going to kill Sam for that drive and in the offense for that drive.
Vin from 360 saying that 2-point was the craziest thing I've ever seen. A $4.99 super chat. Golly, go Hawks. Yeah, that's I've never seen anything like that for sure. Aaron F back in with $2 in disbelief, but so happy tonight. And yes, Nate Shute saying, what a good stat for Sam. And he has very few. Now he has 3 fourth quarter comebacks against winning teams. And this is the reason why I feel like you and I harp on this is because this is what you need to beat good teams in the playoffs. Like, yes. If you get fourth quarter comebacks against bad teams, you're not facing a bad team in the playoffs. You're facing good teams. And so often you find yourselves in moments where you're not just going to boat race teams in the playoffs. So to have the confidence then, for fans, it's great, but even for Sam to now have that confidence that this is something that is possible. And it gives, I think, all of us confidence.
It really does. And these are the types of moments for players. These massive, huge, big leverage, number one seed in play, everybody questioning what you have and your resolve and all that. And when you come through in those moments, it not only galvanizes the team behind you, it really changes the way your brain works, I believe, as a player. And your belief in yourself goes to another notch. These are career-changing type moments that can happen for guys. And we'll see if it sticks. I would be stunned if it didn't, to be honest, because that's an indelible one.
Yeah, it should. Almost 350 people tuning in live. Appreciate it if you give us a like, subscribe if you're new here. Try and get through some more of these super chats, folks coming in. Heavy BMW 22 ounce with the $9.99 super chat. I'm in such a good mood. You guys are awesome. Seriously, thanks for the great content. Catfish the Lambs. Zach Wells, a new member out on YouTube. Welcome to the flock to Zach. And we got Wurstelmeister from Austria, but now in Connecticut, and saying massive overcoming the hump for Sam today.
Yes.
$12 super chat. And we were just talking about that. Aaron F. saying, plus the BS Puka did this week. You guys didn't cover it that much leading up to it. I was surprised the fact that he kind of went after the Rams a little bit, or the refs a little bit in the live video that was covered, saying that, the refs make BS calls, that they're the worst, that they...
I don't want to hear that from anybody in LA. I don't. You guys have been the beneficiaries of more real call, like amazingly poor calls that I have ever seen in my life. So go screw yourself, Puka. I still haven't seen the video. I don't know exactly what he did. It sounds like it was distasteful at the very least.
If you want some Puka hate and recognizing that maybe like the dude is not very sharp, and so that comes across very strongly in the video.
He's a hell of a receiver.
He is a hell of a receiver,
just kind of an a-hole apparently.
And apparently handsome, according to my wife, who also said that today. But
anyway, divorce is coming. All
right. We got the win, so Reyes, USMC 9, who was the little flocker that was supposed to have the baby today? That was Gambling Goat. We recognized him earlier. With this win, the baby can stay. Welcome to our newest 12. Absolutely. And Yokai Hawk with the 3837 yen donation. Forgive me. I lost my faith. I am crying tears of joy. And I have no ill will toward anyone who lost their faith in this game.
No, because I did.
I mean, it's hard not to. Again, we were down 16 points in the fourth quarter to one of the top teams in the NFC.
And it was snowballing.
That is not something that teams come back from hardly ever. And for the Seahawks, it had never happened. So I think if you lost faith, you are human.
Yeah, you have emotions, you watch things, you process it, and look, it's especially with Sam's background and the way he had played up until that point, where it wasn't even just the two picks. There was a number of throws that he just flat out missed, like where you're going, dang, there was a late third down to Kupp that on a comeback on the left sideline, and he just missed it by like quite a bit. And there was 2 or 3 of those throws along with the 2 picks that made you think this is just too big for him. And the defense can only do so much, and they're getting wore out. But at the end of the day, as Ernest Jones said, he was asked, why did you guys turn it around? How did you end up getting like those 4 or 5 stops like down towards the end of this game? He's like, they were laughing in our face, and they thought it was over. Well, yeah. I did too, EJ, and I'm an idiot. I was not laughing in your face. I was crying in my beer. But at the end of the day, that was enough, and they were able to turn it around.
We got Clinton in the chat recognizing the fact that, yes, he did send me a thumbnail for this game. toward the middle of the fourth quarter that was decisively leaning toward the loss. And so as we prepared for this post-game show, it felt like it was going that direction to the point where Clinton was ready just to get some work done. And Clinton in chat asking, boys, how about the decision to go for two and get it? It felt very obvious to me that was the play. I mean, that's why you take the ball second, is so that you have that choice at the end of the game. And with only a couple timeouts on either side, with 3 minutes, like, you could have kicked for the tie and then counted on the defense. But as they pointed out in the broadcast, it benefited the Rams more to take a tie. And if they get the first down, maybe they're just content to play it out and take the tie, knowing that, hey, we got the win against these guys already. We'll take the tie, and that puts us in the best position within the division, and it would have. So I think that with that idea in mind, and just the way that the game had shifted, you go for two in that moment.
Oh, 1,000%. And you heard the announcers explain it a little bit too there in overtime. Like, hey, like, the tie doesn't do you a lot of good if you're Seattle. So, I mean, go for it. I mean, that's what you're here for. You got to go through it, not around it, as Mike always says. And they did. They went through it. And Sam was so patient on that 2-point, taking the snap, getting through read 1, read 2, read 3, Sauber. And he leaks out late, which is a beautiful play design. And he's able to get the ball out. There was a lot of talk in the Discord throughout the game, and I'm sure throughout, all the 12s about Clint Kubiak and does he have it, and complaining about Kubiak in this game. And I figured we'd kind of get to the first half and some of this stuff at some point here, and this kind of ties into it. It felt like, especially early, Mike and Kubiak came out, and they were playing this game pretty conservative. They were trying to shield Sam from having to do a lot, and especially in a situation where I'm sure they thought there would be more rain and the wind would be more of a factor. And so the game plan was to really just kind of keep it close to the vest, let your defense do the thing. I thought this would be a defensive game. Clearly, I mean, but it was a defensive game in a lot of ways. It was an everything game. At the end of the day, they had to put it in his hands, and he came through. But yeah, it was conservative early. I felt like in the first half, a couple things that I wrote down. Defense giving up too much up the middle. They're trying to run us out of nickel. The too many offensive errors. They came out a lot like the Colts game, where a false start on one drive kills a drive. Barner drops a ball, kills another drive, and then Kupp fumbles and kills another drive. I think it killed 3 out of their 4 drives in the first half. Yeah. I felt like Mike was really conservative coming out of the gate, whereas McVay was hyper aggressive. How many fourth downs did they go for in the first half? Was it 5, 4?
I think it was just. Oh no, it was only 3. The fourth one they lined up to go for, and then they took the delay, and that was the last one that they even attempted to go for. But they were 2 for 3 on fourth down conversions. At the end of the day, they were 8 for 20 on third down conversions, and it felt like they were 8 for 12 at one point in the game, and then it went like 0 for 8 at one point in the second half. So. They were converting everything on third down, and when they weren't, then they were picking up a couple on fourth down.
Yeah, they were. And in that first half, out physical, like up front. The defense was getting pushed back, and they were able to run the ball at will. And it is up the middle, too, which is death. And it felt like they took that as a challenge at halftime, and they really did shut down the run game after half. There wasn't a lot going on there. A lot of it from that point on was Stafford really dialing it up and doing his thing. And then give a couple of receivers a lot of credit. Like, Nakua had a couple of contested catches that were just like, are you serious? Insane. You pulled that down.
That one on Job, where Job had his arm there, and he reached as good out as it gets. With his fingertips and was able, but he does that almost every week. And it's especially annoying when it happens against us. Not annoying.
For sure.
Godzilla Hawk, noting that we rushed for 171 yards. And
it's time to talk about the dog. It's time to talk about the dog. I am so freaking stoked that K9 had the K9 game this game. It was something Clinton and I talked about. We did a little quick pregame show before the game. If you're really jonesing for some Seahawks content, you'll enjoy that, because there were some predictions in that came true, or were within a review of coming true in a lot of ways, and it was really fun. Again, I lost my thought again. I drank too many beers to this. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I think you're getting to K9's big game. 3 catches for 64 yards. He had the big one that went downfield that set up the very first touchdown. He got a touchdown of his own, a 55-yard rushing touchdown. So between the receptions, but with the catch, like an explosive day, 164 yards on 14 touches and 1 touchdown, and responsible, really did set up that Zach Charbonnet run.
It really did. And I was furious every time that he wasn't in the game, it felt like, because he was having one of those days and having the explosives, the big TD run, the big screen to start the game and get him up 7-0. Like, just, you could tell right out of the gate, it's like, oh, K9. In fact, when we were down 16 and all that, like, in my notes, I'm sitting here thinking, let's not forget about K9. He came to play today.
Yeah, he had a great day. Anders coming in as a YouTube member. Anders been with the flock for a long time. Mystic Garage saying 81 Salbert earned the coveted game ball from Mike McDonald. Absolutely earned with that catch to go ahead. And what was it? The same week that he signed his new contract too, to stay with the team for another year. So cool to see that for Salbert. And I saw someone point out in the chat too, that throw of Sam's went within inches of grazing Kobe Turner's helmet, and Gray's able just pushing Kobe just enough of a lane to thread it into Salbert too for that 2-point score.
And good for Zabel on that, because Turner ate his lunch on one play where he just bulldozed him and had another false start later in the game that kind of killed something. And then he was up and down throughout the game, but came through when it mattered. Speaking of rookies, Eamon Worry was all over the place in this game. He had his quadrillion tackles, it felt like. He nearly had a pick on a third down that turned into a completion. That was the one that he got hurt on, where that turned into a 50-50 ball because Eamon Worry is so athletic.
7 tackles on the day. He led the team, almost got into a fight with Puka. 1550 Morrison with the $9.99 super chat. After the second interception, I changed where I was watching the game, had to switch up the energy. Can't believe what I just watched. Go Hawks. Exactly. I think at that moment we were all looking for things like, I need to do something differently. And we all have our superstitions. And sometimes, even there were a couple times in this game where I was early on. See, I should have gone back to the stairs because I had the game on my phone on Amazon and was walking down the stairs twice when good plays happened early on. Maybe my fault for not staying there and watching the game when good things were happening.
That's interesting. See, I was trying to do my part here, but just by being bossy, Brittany had moved up into the loft where she's got kind of a little hangout area up there. Things started to change. It started to look a little better. And she was like, should I put on my Seahawks hoodie now? And it was like, no, don't change a thing. You're stuck up there. You're not coming down. I made her stay there because I'm an a-hole. And but it did come out to a win.
See in chat, folks calling for DeMarcus Lawrence. So some talk about him. He was getting pressure often. He finished the day with 3 tackles. Not a lot in terms of the sacks sheet on the day, but they were getting some hits on Matt Stafford, and that's lighting him up, and that's what caused him to miss the throw. That's part of the reason why. He missed a lot of throws late because they were starting to get pressure and get to him, and DeMarcus Lawrence was one of those guys up front. But really, I mean, Leonard Williams, he had a couple plays where he stoned a couple rushes, he got in Stafford's lap. You saw
Murphy was getting a nice push.
Yeah, Chenna was out there in on him too. So, Clinton in the chat saying, lo and behold, when they sped Stafford up, he was mortal. But he still threw for 450 yards. So imagine if they didn't start lining him up late, he would have thrown for 600.
Yeah, probably. But Mike, later on in the game, when the defense really started turning around and the energy was getting cranked up after the Shaheed return, he was sending a lot of edge pressures. And you saw, whether it was Witherspoon or Eamon Worry, he was sending those 2 dudes a lot, and that was really causing havoc for the Rams there. And they couldn't totally handle it. And who was it that it was Nwosu who got the nice hit on Stafford later in the game, and enough to make him wince. If you can make Stafford wince, that's a real deal hit. That dude is tough as nails.
Yeah, Josh Duhamel putting up on screen the stat that they posted on the broadcast: 0 and 172 when trailing by 15 or more points. Now they are 1 and 172. Go Hawks!
Oh, 1,000%. Look, one of the things I said on the flagship before this game was brought up in the chat by somebody. Hey, if Sam pulls this game out, is this something that will completely change your mind regarding Sam Darnold? And I said, oh, no, absolutely not. It'll be a nice data point. We'll put it in there. The style of this game, the way it went down, what he had to do, what he had to overcome, it doesn't completely change. I'm like 95% there, though. Like, it really did take it from like 5% to 95% for me. Because I've been saying for a long time, and you're in the same camp here, Brandon, needed to see it. Needed to see that sort of gutty, no chance, come from behind, make it happen type of game. And it wasn't just all him. Obviously, the team helped him as well. But you don't do it without Sam's big throws down the stretch.
All hail the God Emperor quarterback of the United States. He is the GEQ bus, whatever they call him out on Reddit.
Sure, yeah.
Aaron with the $2 super chat. Sherm said he's pushing for E-Man for Rookie of the Year. I love that because, yeah, Eamon, since he's come back from injury, he really is making that difference. And, yeah, I saw we made some people sad that we reminded that he did go out to injury and went to the locker room. But
concussion.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what they were checking him for. I did want to get to this comment here as well from the Verstmeister. Also, a major shout out to Josh Jones. Can't stress enough, if you don't say the lineman name, he is winning. And look, Charles Cross being out in this game was a big MFing deal. Huge. Like, that's a big deal. And I said I had confidence in Josh Jones coming into this game because I've seen him do some good things. And there were a number of times where they were showing highlights where maybe a different offensive lineman had struggled in a moment, but you see Josh Jones doing his job. Didn't have to mention him all night to the Meister's point here. And give him all the flowers. Big game from Josh Jones. Congratulations to that guy.
Chosen by Dell. We did it, y'all. I can't believe this. I am crying. Tony Bag of Donuts with the $10 super chat. Best regular season win that I can remember. Go Hawks. It's tough to pick another regular season win that could eclipse this because it's against the Rams. It's in a moment where you clinch the playoffs. It's in a moment to where, you know, even historically you're tied up among the two franchises. So you stay ahead of the Rams. And you put yourself in the driver's seat for the number one seed in the playoffs, which has been so important for this franchise. And rightfully so, because when you get the number one seed and you get to play these home playoff games, and if you're the number one seed now, you get the first round bye, nobody else does. It can play a big part for a team. As we've seen, we just needed the first round bye those other two times and took it all the way. So imagine being the only NFC team getting a bye. Yeah,
and look, at the end of the day, you can get healthy during that bye too, and that's one of the biggest things for playoff football is who's healthy towards the end. And this team is extraordinarily healthy to this point, knock on all the wood, and I'm sure – we'll see E-Man again here relatively shortly, depending on, concussion protocols and all that. But
McDonald, some folks in chat, Silver and the Big Sky, saying McDonald said in this presser that Nick was cleared to return.
Nice. And already a big fan of Silver and the Big Sky, fellow Montanan, clearly. So, yeah, thanks for the good news from a fellow Montanan. Love that.
Silver and the Big Sky also saying, and not to mention the other 3 times we got the number one seed in our history. We made it to the Super Bowl, fellas. Yes, Mike has taken home field back, and yes, man, oh man, what a game.
Yeah, I did want to make a comment on that because one of the things that I look for a little bit in the game, because they do kind of mic up the crowd to some degree, is you can kind of hear the opposing fan bases when things are going their way, and you could hear it a little bit with Rams fans, but it was tiny. It was tiny. 12s were there in full force. I heard Chris or whoever the announcer is at the end being like, oh, all you people that left when you were down to 16. I'm sure there was a few that left, but the stands were packed. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, the 12s did their job. They were loud all night, and it really helped when Shaheed brought that punt back. Then it just changed everything. The 12s were roaring, and the energy was unstoppable.
You can become a member of the flock. GetInTheFlock.com. Some of our folks who are in the flock are also in our Pick'em League, and Seahawkman23 saying, Evie, our Pick'em League overlord, is going to have to smite someone down. Bad news.
Might have been Bronco Jared, though. Who's got the exempt.
That's true.
Yeah.
Evie knows who the people are that she needs to smite. So, but it doesn't shock me that maybe one or two people tried to skirt the rules if that did actually happen. So, thanks to everyone who's liking it. Yes, let's push to 100. Over 100 likes. Appreciate everybody tuning in on this Thursday night with a big win over the stupid Los Angeles Rams.
Absolutely. And I hate asking for likes and subscribes and all that. I can't stand that stuff. But at the end of the day, this was such a big
reminder.
Win, and we're having such a big time and such a fun time. Look, man, we're like 120 or so away from getting to 6,000 subs. Like, it would mean the world to all of us here at the Seahawker Spot if we could get to 6,000 subs by the end of this season. So if you're not subbed to this, there's 373 people live in here with us. Please go and subscribe. That is the most I will defecate myself, like actually begging for subscriptions. But it's so fun. Like, I think everybody's going to want to subscribe.
As a middle-aged dude, I actually appreciate it because I forget until somebody reminds me. It's like having, my wife go, hey, you need to take out the garbage. Like, I know I need to do it. And I know it's, part of my responsibility. And just like, giving a like sometimes can be if I do, in fact, like it.
Right.
Ryan also saying, excited to hear from Phil on his experience at the game. Yes, Phil on our What If show, our regular contributor there, the protector of the multiverse. He went to the game. He gets to maybe go to one game a year, and with this Thursday night game, made the trip over. And man, oh man, I can't wait to hear from Phil on What If this week and hear about that experience because, judging from the people in the chat who were there saying that was rocking, maybe Scott saying here too, they learned their lesson after the Green Bay comeback. You never leave early.
No. And that was definitely the rule when Russ was around and at the peak of his powers, no doubt about it. And I think there's probably a few people that were like me that didn't quite believe in Sam in that way. And once again, just taking a giant bite of crow, choking it down, gonna wash it down, and it tastes so good. It tastes like victory. It tastes like the Rams lost and they got to go home all sad, and that makes me happy too. It's so great.
Flocktimus Prime saying a Hanukkah miracle. Yes, happy Hanukkah to Flocktimus Prime. And yes, we are feeling the excitement today. Phil, you may have to buy the beers this week, and that's fine too. Because I'm a little bit jealous of Phil because to go to this kind of game, like I've been to some fun games. I was at the Green Bay Packers game when they came back. That was pretty amazing. It was also very not fun for a good portion of the game too. But to be there for when those big moments and the comebacks and I screamed from the couch on the 2-point conversion touchdown, so I can't imagine the noise in the stadium of everybody cheering as Eric Saubert's catching the 2-point conversion for the go-ahead score.
Oh, I swear to God, there's no wildlife left in this gulch. Like, I walked out the front door. I screamed into the abyss. I let it all out. I've been wanting that for so long with a win over those guys because, look, when we were getting into the third quarter there we're down 16. I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, gosh, I was really not excited about the Sam signing. And like, I was pissed about the Cup signing. And like that Judas, like, he fumbled it away on a scoring drive. And then Sam throws a near pick six and then throws another pick to Kobe Turner of all people when we're down on the goal line. Like these two dudes that I couldn't stand, like they're the ones that did this to us. And for those two guys to both make massive plays down the stretch, like hats off to them. And it's awesome.
Ryan Wagner saying, dude, I didn't even notice Cross was out. Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's nothing against Cross. It's just that's a tip of the hat to Josh Jones.
Yeah. Jackson Smith and Jigba. We haven't said his name much apart from the one catch on the sidelines, but 8 catches, 96 yards, 1 touchdown reception, catching that touchdown. It was in the overtime touchdown in the back of the end zone. Was it overtime, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
It's been so long ago now. But Jackson Smith and Jigba, almost 100 yards. And A.J. Barner. How about A.J. Barner's touchdown catch?
Oh, goodness gracious me. How did we not talk about this? Because that allowed me to hit my Fail Mary bet on Blue Friday Bets. If you guys aren't listening to that, it's a lot of fun. That got me plus 1,300 on that bet because I had K9 to go over 90 yards rushing and receiving. And an anytime Barner TD. And he caught that with the tippy tips of his fingers. And that's stuff to do for top-level wide receivers, let alone tight ends. He was wide open. It was a great play call by Kubiak as well. I thought he did a fantastic job with that one, and just awesome.
The Snail saying that Adam and I had the same watching experience. I feel like that's probably common for a lot of Seahawks fans. Carly saying this week has been tough, and this was such a great thing to end today with. Really appreciate it. Kale's asking for a good recommendation for a good heart doctor after back-to-back weeks, Adam, with these clutchy games, or what does the Bard call them? Bum twitchy moments, or bum?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Squeaky bum games. That's what it is. Squeaky bum game.
Yeah, there they are. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, it was up and down. It was a roller coaster. But that's one of the ways that we know the Hawks are back to championship form. It's always been that way for this team, especially when we're good. And just, look, I'm probably going to live 5 years less overall because of this football team, and it's worth it. I'll trade it in every time.
Garrett coming in. How about the rookie sprinting downfield, blocking for Sharps? Is that, or are you thinking the one for K9? Because Zabel blocking downfield too on that big catch from
on
K9.
The screen. Yeah, early. And also, let's give the defense a lot of credit in the red zone early in the game. Rams were able to kind of jilly it down our throat, get all the way down there, and they held them to field goals. And you heard Herb Street talk about what a big deal that could be later on in the game, and it definitely turned out to be the case.
Car Wash Channel saying crazy game. Shane Turner Acoustic. Sorry I'm late. Wow, what a win. Yes, Shane. You hopefully you got through the game without any spoilers, and you got to watch all of that coming in from Australia. And Carly Perkins saying, guys, we won against the Rams.
That's right. And I hope that makes up for a crummy week, Car. We definitely don't want that for you, but this certainly helps, no doubt about it.
Nathan Tolley, Hawks, baby, Hawks. And the Snail saying, I want a cup released at halftime. Yeah, with that fumble, which, oh, man, just hold on to the football and you're in field goal range and maybe you get a touchdown and you can tie the game up or, at least make it close going into halftime, knowing that you're going to get the ball out of the half, and to fumble it there and turn it back over to them. Yeah, with Nate, I was ready to fire Cup into the moon. The fumble and the missed block early. Yeah. The toe drag makes up for it a little.
It sure does. It sure does. I wanted to get to this comment from Sam. Shout out to the visual measurement. It was definitely not necessary. NFL, if you're listening, you're not. But if you are, you should be. Look, this is not better. Like, this does not add value to the viewing experience or to any part of it. The chains are better. Just stick to old school. Let's not overthink this. We don't need AI involved in deciding who gets a first down or not. I hated that.
Why was it this moment when it was a foot short that they decided to break this out? Does it only work on Thursday Night Football?
This year?
Oh, yeah, and the first one was in preseason. So
yeah.
Scott Campbell coming in with $14.99 Australian. Shout out Lucas on the block for the game-winning conversion. Also, need to ask questions of Kubiak. Some very bad play calling over the past few weeks, but go Hawks and F the Rams.
I appreciate that, Scott. Look, I'll be the one that actually capes for Kubiak here because I honestly don't think overall his play calling is as bad as some people want to go with. A lot of the problems early in the game were execution issues. Like, he doesn't ask Sam to throw that ball when the corner's clearly trying to bait him. He doesn't ask Sam to throw that ball when Kobe Turner drops out, right? Like he doesn't make Cup fumble the ball. He doesn't make was it Bradford false start early in the game and kill a drive. Like those are execution
a lot
issues.
of execution, yeah.
Yeah, in mental
operational
issues.
penalties, as I've heard somebody call them.
Yes, and those are frustrating, very frustrating if you say it like a European. But yes.
Silver in the big sky. It honestly feels a lot like the year before we won the Super Bowl. So 2012, this team feels like that team, but maybe a little bit better. This team feels a little bit more complete than that 2012 team. And who knows what would happen if that Falcons game goes a little bit differently. And let's see, shout out to the visual measurement. Oh, you covered that one already.
Yeah, because that one was super annoying there. But
I'm having so much fun tonight. I don't want the show to end. Can the show not end?
I hear you, but I also feel like I'm out of a lot of things to say just because we'll get into more of the nitty gritty of it later in the week. We've got the extra time with the mini bye coming up with the Panthers next week, and we'll be able to kind of dig deeper into the ebbs and flows of this game because it was so outrageous. But really, at the end of the day, things that you got to give this team credit for. One, unlimited grit. Like that right there is the mark of a team that can do damage in the playoffs. Are they going to win a chip? I don't know. At this point with this game, does it change my mindset a little bit after the last four? If they can win a championship, absolutely. Yes, it changes my mindset and makes me feel more confident in it. Sam Darnold, tip of the cap, man, and congratulations to you. I mean, heartfelt all the way from somebody who has ripped you a bunch from the day you were signed here. I'm so happy for you, and I hope you sleep great tonight and get all of the flowers that you deserve this week, no doubt about it. And to the defense for ultimately not giving up and giving us a chance down the stretch. You guys are amazing. Just awesome to watch. It's a pleasure as a fan. And watching the Rams go home, crybaby shit asses, nothing beats that, Brandon.
Yes, and I saw someone in the chat saying greatest comeback since the Green Bay game. I'd like to see comments in the chat of anything that tops it. And yes, thanks to Silver in the Big Sky for coming in with the comments, coming in with the super chat, saying I need some Seahawks fans following my coin channel. Can I add you guys to collaborate on a video here and there? There's lots of time in the off season to talk and maybe do some YouTube collaborations.
I don't know anything about coins, but if you want me to look at something and be like, that's shiny and it looks like it's real silver, I can do that. Yeah.
Seahawks rushing yards 171, Rams,
which is shocking.
Is that is that backwards? It feels backwards, but it's not. No, that is shocking. What happened?
No. Especially early in the game, man.
Just because explosive plays too.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I'm feeling this comment in the chat. I don't know how I'm supposed to go to sleep tonight, but pleasure to watch.
I don't know. I bought extra claws, man, because I knew one way or the other I was going to be drinking from joy or drinking from sorrow, and I'm excited about it. Oh no, I look over and Brittany's she's taking some of my claws. I don't know about this. Yeah. I better get off this so I can protect my beers.
See, we don't have to talk coins. We can talk Seahawks. So there's that too. So
perfect.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who came in tonight. Everybody with the super chats. Gosh, it's a long list to run down, but Aaron F came in, Ryan 911. We also had Navajo Egg Rolls with some gifted memberships. Gambling Goat came in with gifted memberships as well. Ryan Eddy, a member, and Nate Schutz with the super chat. Josh DeHuman, a big thanks to you. Carly Perkins, Car, appreciate you. God Zero Hawk also with the gifted memberships and the super chat. Sam Gelber came in as well, along with Chris Grubaker. Jeremy Green, I don't know if I mentioned him. He said Sam was lights out on that game-winning drive. Vin from 360
Jeremy
also came in. Aaron F once again. BMW 22 OZ and picked up a couple new members as well. Appreciate you. Verstameister with the $12 super chat and Reyes USMC Yokai Hawk. Man, oh man, this list keeps on going. 15 Morrison and Aaron F again. Tony Bag of Donuts. Scott Campbell Photography. Appreciate you all. Appreciate our Seahawks getting this win over the stupid Los Angeles Rams. We're going to the playoffs, baby.
We're going to the playoffs, man. And I think with that,
there's only one thing left to say.
Fuck the Rams! Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!